Hi, my name is Alicia Redshaw and I'm from Scrapbook Fantasies in Gladstone, Queensland, and I'd like to welcome you to my card making class today using the Celebr8 Enchanted Collection of papers and embellishments. I am using an enchanted mini pack to create an easel card with a little bit of a difference today, just something a little quick, a little simple, and a little easier, well, a lot easier than what you think it might be. So let's just get stuck in and get started with the class. Okay, so as I said, I am using the Celebr8 Enchanted mini pack to make my little easel card today, and the Enchanted mini pack has 24 15cm by 20cm pieces of 240 GSM pattern paper. So if you're an imperial type measurement person, that's about 8¼ inches by 6 inches. It also has a ivory total chipboard, which I have used part of on my layout. I also have a layout made from this pack. I bought one pack. I'm doing a layout, I'm doing a card today, this class, and I'm also doing a tag class. It also has 3 enamel dot stickers and some ribbon, which I've used part of already. I've also purchased a pack of our exclusive Bliss and Tranquility flare buttons, a pack of Bliss and Tranquility color cuts, which I've used a couple of on my layout, and I will use a bit more on my card. So let's get stuck into it. The pack also comes with 2 15 by 20cm pieces of white cardstock. Now we're going to cut this cardstock just slightly, so it's 6 inches, or it's almost 6 inches. So let's do 5¾ inches by 8 inches. I just want it to be something that's a little bit more regular. So 5¾ wide by 8 inches long. I'm gonna make a simple, quickish easel card with a bit of a twist. It's got a little bit of a wow factor. So I'm gonna fold this piece of 5¾ inch by 8 inch card in half. It's just a nice thick white card. So folding that in half, and then 1/2 we will fold back on itself in half again. Okay? So we're folding it back because it's easier, but then we're going to fold it over the other way. So we've folded it back, but then we're going to fold it inwards. Rub it again. If you don't have a bone folder, if you have a scoreboard or score pal, you have a plastic one. This one's actually bone. Making Memories don't exist anymore as a company, and it's got alcohol ink on it, but that was a long time ago. Back of a bread and butter knife, not the front, the back of a bread and butter knife. Okay, so we've got our base, nice little base ready to go. So let's have a look in the stash of stuff what we're going to use. So this is a like a 3D decoupage, a cut out layered thing. I'm just thinking whatever I use has got to fit on here, so let's make this. So we'll use that. Joy is increased by spreading it to others. Oh, I like that. That sounds like a goer. So we want something to cover our sections. So the section down in here, maybe we'll put a bit of this pattern paper. Because I've already cut up the paper to make my patchwork page, you'll find this class where you're watching this class right now. Oh, a bit of wood paper. Let's use that. I wonder if we've got more of that. Oh, this strip. Not big enough. Okay, so we'll use the wood paper. I think we'll use the wood paper on some of the panels. And then let's add a bit of this stucco, but we'll see if I've already got a piece of it cut up. Yep, already got a bit cut, so we'll use that. What else have we got? Might see if there's some things on here we can fussy cut. And let's cut a couple of words. Already used that. No, let's cut some words from there. A bit of the yellow. Maybe a bit of the green. Okay, let's make a start with that. Oh, is that big enough? Oh, not quite. Okay. Let's go with this. Let's make a start. Okay, so this portion in here is 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. So what we will do is we will cut a piece that is 3 3/4 inches by 5 1/2. Now if you've got a Cardmaking trimmer, right on the edge here is the 5 1/2. So the 5 1/2 is right to the edge. So let's put that piece in there. And then let's get a little bit of the timber paper. We'll cut the barcode off because it's got that lovely quote on it. Cherish forever what makes you unique. That's beautiful. So let's make a backstop here. So our backstop needs to be probably 1 3/4 inches. So let's do 1 3/4. It's going to sit on here by 5 1/2 inches, or 5 1/4 inches, because it's going on a 5 1/2 inch piece. So let's try the other way. 5 1/4. Oh, that looks better. So that can go on there as our backstop. And let's cover this piece. So on here, this portion is 2 inches wide, right? But what I would like to do is completely cover it. But I don't think I can. Maybe we'll decorate it exactly the same as this piece here. So let's go 1.5 inches. So it's going to be a little narrower by 5 1/4. And then the line's going to match up on the timber. I like that. I like matchy-matchy. Matchy-matchy works well. Actually, let's use the green. And let's cut a 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. Let's put behind that. So this is all in inches. Right, and that'll be like that. That looks good. I think it does. So then where's our little quote we were going to use? Joy is increased by spreading it to others. So let's trim that off. We even have the Cardmaking, these trimmers in our online store, and they can be posted. So our postage is a bit different to everyone else's. We do flat rate $8.95 postage. We do free postage for orders over $85. But we also have a thing where you can shop and shop and shop, and you can ask us to hold it. So it's hold till 85. We will hold your order until you reach the $85. I'm going to trim a little bit more off that. You reach the $85 to get free postage. So we have a lot of, they're all stored in pizza boxes, and we have a card file system. We have a whiteboard devoted to it. It's all very technical in our store, well, in our packing room, and we keep track of where your order is at and then we just send it out. You get a present in the mail when your order gets to $85. Okay, so let's make a matching light green piece. So this is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be 1 3/4 inches, and I really need to tidy up that edge because I was a bit rough with it. So 1 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. So 1 3/4 by 5.5, which is the edge of my trimmer. I'm just going to leave that one green. I'm not going to put anything on it. I might use a little bit of gauze as well. So the other thing is that with our online store, if you say ordered this packet of flare buttons, and it actually had the other camera flare in it, because the other flare that is out of this packet is this one here. So if you ordered this packet of flare buttons and you paid $8.95, we would refund the difference in the postage, because that's only going to cost us, you know, it might cost us $2.20 or probably $2.20 to post. So we would refund you the difference. You could, if you were worried about the postage, you could buy the flare buttons, choose in-store pickup, because that's what we have for locals, and then we can contact you for payment of the postage, the $2.20 or $3.30 or whatever it is. So there are options, lots and lots and lots of options. So let's fussy cut our bits out so we can see where we're at and give it a little bit of an audition. I'm going to leave the white edge around, I think. Oh, maybe not. No, I'm going to cut the white edge off. Sorry for my indecisiveness. So yeah, if you wanted to lay-by something, you do need to contact us first so we know what's going on, and all you do is choose in-store payment, and we put it in our lay-by drawer, and you just contact us to pay on a regular basis. So if you're pre-ordering something, because we do a lot of pre-orders, this is Celebr8, we do pre-orders for Celebr8 every single month. We sell a lot of Celebr8. You may have purchased Celebr8 from us at a craft show. You may have purchased it online from us, but we think we represent Celebr8 very well in Australia. So you may see that we have that for pre-order. You might go, oh, well, I know that's next month's release. I know it's for pre-order, but I'd like to pay for it when it arrives. You can choose in-store payment. You can then leave a message, and we will contact you when it arrives for payment. So there are lots of options. We are a family-owned business, and we understand. We understand that everybody is different, and we understand that you may not want to put your details into an online store. Our online store is very safe. I'm just telling you, it is an extremely safe system. We have spent an awful lot of time and effort, and we spend a lot of money on making sure that it is very safe for you to use. The safety of our customers is like insurance on our car, and it's really, really important. You don't want to be caught out not having it. So we have customers that are really frightened of, they've been burnt before, so you are welcome to do an order and then leave a message and we can ring you, or you can ring us that day or the next day, and we can put your card through over the phone. We have PayPal, we have Afterpay, so lots of options. Sorry, I'm just waffling on here while I'm just fussy cutting. Like, I'm sure you didn't sign up to come and watch me fussy cut. I could fast forward the video, but then that would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? Okay, so I am being quite pedantic here, and I'm probably going to regret this later. Okay, so let's cut around the leaves. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to cut off the white border. Sometimes I leave the white border on. Sometimes I have the white border on some things and off on others on the one project. I am kind of editing these leaves a little bit. So when I stick it together, that's okay, because there'll be a bit more depth, because some things will be, some things will have more, I'm going to cut that fern off, will be bigger than others in the layers, you know, between the layers. So that's okay. I like that. I like when there's sort of variety. Okay, one layer of camera. So I think this camera is the same size, is it? Yep. So let's cut this camera here out. So we'll cut out this camera. Onto 3 dragonflies. Just going to rough cut them first, and we'll cut out the lens and the 2 flowers. So let's cut around this lens. So this is going to go on the very top, right? The very, very top of my camera stack. Okay. So what I'm going to do, what's on the back of this? Oh, yellow. That's not bad. Okay, so I've got Dimensional Magic in my applicator bottle, and I'm just going to just float some Dimensional Magic. I'll lift this up in a second, in the middle circle of the lens. And what it does is it creates, it's a bit milky right now, but when it dries it will be nice and shiny. So in a live class I would say to you, now when we get to the end, don't forget to remind me to stick that on. So I'm just going to stick it over to the side here so I don't end up with it stuck to my arm, glued to my watch, you know, all the places that things get glued because I don't take notice of what I'm doing. So now I'm just cutting around this flower, and then I'm going to do the leaves, dragonflies, and the other camera. Oops. The low rumble you can hear is the air conditioners here in the store. I'm actually recording this on a Wednesday afternoon. Quentin is off doing the afternoon school pickup run. Picking Amelia Ann up, and not Noah, he finishes late today, and then it's threatening to rain outside, but it's still quite hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove these wispy leaves from this layer, but I'm not going to throw those out. I'm not going to throw those out because when I come along later I might want you know, just one little leaf on a tag or something. When I finish all this, I'm going to keep it all together in a clip seal bag, and I might decide that I need, you know, just one little leaf, and it's right there. So let's cut the camera out. So once again, I do a bit of an edit as I go. I'll make it easier on myself. I don't, you know, I'm not worried about being slightly different. I've got bigger fish to fry. You know, at my age and running a mum's helpline for 4 kids, yeah. You know, did have a mum's helpline call before, but you know, gotta go, mum. Gotta go. Gotta call back about a job, so gotta go. That's the good gotta goes you want, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just doing a little fussy cut around, edit as I go, come back and snip off any pointy bits. Okay. And then I'm just going to, right, cut his tail off and then just to make it into a little, you know, a nice rounded point. Right, one dragonfly. Oh, dearie me. Do I want 3? Yeah. Why not? Why not? And just cutting around. You could do another layer and have the whole circly bit. I have made a layout with that on before, but I'm not making a card that big. My card is this big. Okay. Rightio. 2. Oh, where'd the other one go? Oh, here it is. So I attack something like a fine little dragonfly with, you know, a dose of courage. And I just, if I round its head off a little bit and cut off its antenna, that's okay. I can handle that. And then I just, with the tail, I go up one side, and when I come back, I go down the other. And that's how I deal with something like a dragonfly. Go up here. And we just treat that tail like a straight line. Just snip straight down at the end. So it doesn't become a small little tiny flimsy thing until you get to the very end. There we go. 3 dragonflies. So I've got some glitter glue here. I hope there's some still in stock in the online store. I will put it into, so what I've got is a link, it'll come up at the end, towards the end, and it's a link to a page, a search page in our online store, and it has everything I have used, including the tape and scissors and glue, not the trimmer. Just search trimmer in my online store if you're after a trimmer. But I'll put a link up for glitter glue as well, I think. I will do a glitter glue link, like a Stickles. This is Stickles brand. I'll put a Stickles link up on the screen now, and then it's there. I've got diamond. This is diamond. So the link later on in the video is, oh, where's my tweezers? I just want to move these dragonflies. I've got a pair of tweezers here somewhere. The link later on in the video for the products for this class just links to a search page for all the products I've used to make this card, this layout, and the tag, which I haven't videoed yet. So, okay. So this is the very top flower, this little single one. So let's put a tiny bit of our glitter glue, and my glitter glue is nearly out. And I just use it till it's gone. And then when it's, you know, basically all gone, I'll cut it open and smear it on with my finger if I have to. There we go. So let's put them over there to dry. Okay, so let's come along and attack this. So I've got, we had a bit of that stucco coloured stuff, didn't we? This. So I'm going to stick this on here, but before I do that, I'm actually going to cut my quote. Joy is increased by, and then I'm going to cut it, spreading it to others. It will fit on better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick these two little rectangles for my quote to this stucco colour, and I'm using it because it's sort of in the center of the flowers, and it's kind of in the clock, and it's in a bit of the foliage on here, and I wanted to bring it back into the card just a little more, just so that those little accents don't look like, oh, that's all she had, so she had to use that. It's a bit more you know, a bit more planned looking. Even if it's not planned, you make it look planned. Okay, so let's just rough cut those and sit them here with all my other doodahs for my class. Okay, so these two go together, right? And this is my base and my backstop to go on it. So at this point in time, I'm looking at it, and I'm going to get some gold pearlescent pigment ink and put a little bit of that around the bits. And I'm going to construct these bits before I stick them to the card. So this backstop needs to go on foam tape. So let's get some foam. So this backstop piece is the piece that was 1 3/4 inches by 5.5 inches. So it's 1 3/4 by 5.5. So it was the first piece of timber we cut. So let's not stick that there until we put some gold ink around. It will be easier to put it on beforehand. Sort of got dark outside. It's only 3:30 in the afternoon here in central Queensland. It is going to rain, which is music to our ears. It has been super dry. Let's put a bit across the middle. Okay, so that's going to be our base, right? So then let's ink these two little guys, because they're our front that you see. So they're our first front. So we'll ink them. Now, I'm going to stick this on here, so I don't need the middle. So hacker alert, I am going to cut the middle out of this, and this is to alleviate some of the weight so that my card has a better chance of standing for longer and doesn't weigh as much. And you know, you could cut this out with a trimmer or a craft knife, but you know, that's just free paper. You can cut anything from that now. So let's put some tape on here. And I work on a non-stick craft sheet. I'll try and remember to add that to the link. And when I go to stick this on the card, I have to make sure I remember to put the timber at the same end so that it matches the pattern. Let's add a bit more tape. Probably should have used 6mm tape here, but that's okay. So let's add this one so that I don't come back later and forget to put the timber in the right direction. So let's stick it on with a nice little border on the sides that matches. And while we're doing that, we'll stick our insert inside here. So you've got space in a card like this to write up in here, but what we might do is we might get, look at that, testing the mechanism, and it works nicely. And that little 1/8 of an inch gap here is enough for that foam to sit nicely, and it sits nice and meets, and it just looks perfectly planned. So let's get a bit of No, let's get a little bit of our white. So our space here, let's cut a 1.5 inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a 1.5 inch by 5.5 inch piece of the white. So this is still the white that was included in the pack. So 1.5 by 5.5. And this is going to be our sentiment block where the sender writes a little message. So this is where they, you know, say happy birthday Uncle Dave, not Auntie Dave, Uncle Dave, love you a long time. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully you do. So let's add this little guy in. Now I haven't inked my card base yet. I say yet because I haven't decided if it needs it yet. That's a sort of a decision. Oh. Okay, so I've made a mistake. That needs to be 5.25 because the floral is 5.5. So, and you're probably all yelling at me. And I'll actually try and remember when I edit this to put up a message that says, please cut what I type, not what I say. Okay, that's better. Look at that, there we go. Okay, so then let's stick our little piece of leafy stuff here. And yes, I am building it all on the card. I don't always build anything on the card at all until it's all made, but this particular card needs to have some parts constructed. We had to get the wood on so that it would be right, but the wood piece needs to be on before we get to the next section, because at the next point we're actually going to add our camera, and our camera is going to go across the two. Very sorry about the phone ringing. It is after 2:30. We are not open now, and yeah, I'm videoing, so if I'm here working late, and I do work late a lot, depends on if I make it to the phone whether I answer it or not, but a lot of times in the late afternoon it's usually a telemarketer. But if you were to ring us at 3:30 in the afternoon and I didn't answer, most likely I've run the, you know, length of the store, and from back to the front is over 40 meters, and I've missed it. Or I'm just not here. Or I'm recording a video. So I haven't inked around my little sentimenty thing here, and I've done that on purpose because I'm not actually going to ink around my fussy cuts at this point in time. I wanted to leave myself with a window of opportunity that if I didn't want to ink around things, I didn't have to. Okay, so we've got those. I'm going to put our camera here. Put our camera there so it hangs over the top. Okay, so let's build our camera embellishment now. So this is our base. We're not putting any adhesive on the back of it, and then this camera goes up on foam. So let's use some foam tape. So we put him on. It's okay if it's not lined up perfectly, because that then gives you the it shows that it's layered. You want it to appear layered. So this flower goes here, right? I'm going to put it on a double layer of foam. So I'm going to cut 2 bits. I'm just going to make sure it's just slightly off so you can see the other leaves below. I'm going to cut another bit of foam and sit it on the flower here, which is a bit of a no-no, but I'm sitting it there so that I can stick my wet flower on. So no movie magic here, just the fact that it's wet. So we've made my little embellishment, and I really want it to be on this side, and if I do that, then I need to put, I think I need to put that there, and I want it to hang over the top like that. Okay, so I'm going to hold it where it's going to go and turn it back this way, right? And then I'm going to pull it out slightly and make a mark. So I pull it out slightly so that my mark will be hidden. And I make sure I don't mark my card base. So I'm thinking I'm going to ink these, but I'm just going to graze them with a little ink across the two layers. So it's not a perfect inking, it's not anything fabulous. It's just a little tiny grazing of ink on them. And I'm going to do the same on my camera. So that's just like a touch here and a touch there. I don't want too much on my flower. I just want a little here and a little there. And then I'm going to do the same around my lens. I'm going to sit it up there so it's in my view, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come along and just graze the edges with the gold ink on my card base. I'm not going to do the base there. But inside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sides up to this center line, and then I'm just going to do this edge. So that bit's not done, but this is, because this is part of the decorative hoo-ha shebango stuff. Rightio. So our camera is actually going to go on foam. Well, I'm actually going to put my camera on foam. So my foam is going to go below my little mark I made. So let's put that aside. And then I do need a piece of foam in the middle here for my lens. And then these little quotey strips are going to go on here. So I'm going to put these two little pieces of the quote down together so that I get the gap where I'd like it to be. And I'm just going to do them sort of a crookedy. Joy is increased by spreading it to others. I like that. So then let's peel the back off this. And checking before I push it down. Beautiful. So you can't see my little line, can't see my foam. Let's peel this off. And yeah, I know this is wet. And let's sit that there. I didn't turn it round to make sure it matched perfectly. I just wanted it to be, I don't mind if it's got a bit of distance. Rightio. So when our card is closed, that's how it looks. And when it's open, that's how it looks. So let's have a look at these little wordies. strip things. Made an awful big mess here. Our dragonflies are still drying. Grateful forever, thinking of you. Live simply, laugh, special memories. Want something to go on the card that is, maybe we don't want something to go on the card. Maybe we won't put anything on the card. Let's not put anything on the card. Okay. So I didn't put any gauze under it. I didn't use any chipboard. I didn't use an enamel dot, and that's okay. I'm happy. So I'm going to get my Dimensional Magic, if I find it in the rubble. And I'm going to spread out my Dimensional Magic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip a butterfly body in it. Bend the wings. That is my car looking at the back. Got another butterfly body. Let's bend the wings. Let's set this one here. Oops. Just did the bit of the slidies. I'm going to put the ink pad there. And then we're going to put a bit of glue on this last butterfly. Oops. I'm going to put him inside here. Toothpicks could help with this too, for moving things and sliding them. Okay, so there we go. We have our card. That's an easel card. So when it's flat, it's like that. And when it's not, it's like this. And it's really quite delicate and simple and pretty. We didn't use a massive amount of product. You could use this from your scrap box. And it, so as these butterfly wings dry, they'll sort of curl up a bit more. So there you go. Awesome. That was my easel card making class using the Celebr8 Enchanted mini pack, and thank you so very much for spending your time with me in this class. I truly appreciate your time and effort and your creativity, and look forward to seeing you in our Scrapbook Fantasies Creative Family group on Facebook, where we have lots and lots of free classes. And we have lots of chat and creativity and sharing and support of each other. You can find us at www.scrapbookfantasies.com.au, which is our online store, and it can lead you in the right direction to find classes, inspiration, our virtual retreats, and of course our exclusive products. Thank you very much. Take care, stay safe, and we love you all. Bye.